Significant development. The NIA apprehended Muzammil Shareef, a crucial figure in the Rameshwaram Cafe blast case. The agency identifies Shazib as the bomber and Taahaa as another conspirator. Following the first arrest announcement, the NIA released recent images of the suspects and offered a reward of Rs 10 lakh each for their capture. Muzammil Shareef was arrested on the 27th of March for allegedly providing logistical support to the two individuals. The arrest followed raids at 18 locations across the country, including 12 in Karnataka. Shazib, also known as Shazib, Mohammad Junaid Hussain and Mohammad Junaid Sayyid. The agency noted that Shazib's use of forged documents to conceal his identity, including a fake driving license and other aliases. Both Shazib and Taahaa are wanted suspects in the Shivamogga module case as well, with Shazib originating from Shivamogga district and Taahaa from Trithalli rural area. The investigative agencies are inching closer to unfold the terror module behind this blast. In fact, we're going to have a look at some major revelations which have been made by the NIA in this case as well on the big screen right here. Well, the NIA had always suspected that an IS kind of a module was behind this kind of a terror attack, which in fact was orchestrated with the help of a number of people that you see on your screen. The revelation one that the NIA made was that Musawwir Hassan Shazib has now been identified as the alleged bomber. That is the guy we saw in those CCTV footage cameras as well with the backpack. Revelation number 2, Abdul Mateen Taahaa has been identified as the key conspirator. He did help him with logistics and also helped him in obtaining some of those explosives. Both Abdul and Musawwir have been on the run since 2020. They have been wanted and have been suspects in other cases as well, especially the one in Shivamogga. Both Abdul and Musawwir are accused in the Al-Hind module case as well, and that is the reason that they have been on the run since 2020. Usual suspects who in fact have been inching towards making another terror episode come alive. Abdul and Musawwir were involved in attempting in insurgency in the south as well, but of course that was a failed attempt. Abdul and Musawwir are also now accused of 4 terrorism cases, and these are some of the startling revelations that the NIA has made. They are accused in the pro-terror graffiti in Mangaluru in 2020 as well, after which they have been absconding, they have been on the run. They are also accused in the Shivamogga tribal blast and the terror case in 2022. This is of course going to be linked to what happened in Rameshwaram as well. The duo is accused in the Mangaluru pressure cooker blast in 2022 as well. We all remember that. And of course those images of a pressure cooker blast taking place right next to a car are still etched in our memory. Both have been accused of having fake IDs with names including Vignesh T, Sumit and Mohammad Junaid Sayyid as well. All aliases. In fact, we're also going to show you as to who these accused are and what some of their details have been ascertained by the NIA. Abdul Mateen Taahaa is this man you see on your screens. He's 30 years of age. He's the alleged bomber. Where does he hail from is not known, but he is the culprit behind that particular blast. He was the man who was seen in those CCTV footage cameras as well. Accused number 2, Musawwir Hussain Shazib, age 30. He's the key conspirator, helped with logistics and also helped bring about those explosives which led to that particular terror attack. Accused number 3 is Muzammil Shareef. His age at this point in time is not known. He was responsible for, in fact, coming up and manufacturing those explosives. He hails from Chikmagaluru. That is all we know so far. So, of course, this is speedy and expedited work by the NIA, and this is obviously going to give them a lot of insight into the kind of modules that have been operating in our country when it comes to terror attacks. This is not something that has happened in isolation. They have been able to tie up what these people have done in the past as well. Major General A.K. Sivaj, former head of Territorial Army and geostrategic defense expert, joins us on the show. Mr. RVS Mani, former Under Secretary, Internal Security, is with us on the program as well. Mr. Ellen Rao, former DCP Special Cell, the terrorist wing, joins us on the program as well. Mr. Mani, the big question over here is that, this seems to be a trail. This seems to be something, which had crumbs and they could have been followed. And this is a case which, has these people involved up to 4 to 5 years ago. Do you think something could have been done? They could have been brought to books a lot earlier on?
They should have been brought to books earlier on. There's no doubt about it. But the question is, you're talking of last 5 years. I'm talking of last 16 years or 17 years. When the Jalil Ahmed, that Glasgow brass came, and later on the Batkals, the Indian Mujahideen, the Yasin Batkal, the Riyaz Batkal, and all those were found out, the Karnataka had become a powder keg for the terror industry. It has become a terror nursery. You even now go, the Bangalore blast happened, and somehow these people have escaped. Prior to that, the Bangalore blast happened. There's so many, it's a sleeper cell happening in there. And it is not a single sleeper, it is a huge gamut of things which is happening in coastal Karnataka and adjoining districts like that. Shivamoga, the Chikmagalur and all that. And Chikmagalur, last year there was a show of strength also, which was shown with daggers being swung around in a procession. I do not want to comment on that, but the question is, the state government should be sensitive to all these things and we should do the most preventive work. Where everything cannot be given to NIA like the Argentina players passing the ball to Maradona. NIA is there, fine. But NIA should be the last check post. Why do they? Why can't the state do? At the Mangalore was pressure cooker blast, and which was linked to the Tawheed Jamaat and Al Hind and all that. Prior to that, the Coimbatore cylinder blast. There was a denial because it was politically not convenient to accept that. That politicking first should stop. A terror attack is a terror attack, irrespective of who does it, irrespective of, and please call it out. Let us not play politics on terror. Karnataka, the southern southwest Karnataka has been a nursery of terror. There have been sleeper cells going right, left, and center. You go to Moolbidri, you go from Moolbidri, you go to several other places. There are you can really sense it if you are a little bit being in the internal security or in DCP Mr. Rao will bear me out. There are certain pockets where the terror industry is happening, and that is unfortunate. The state government has to take care of it. Now, Shahid or Muzammil, or whether it is Junaid or whether it is Vignesh or it is Sumit, this is the different aliases which have come out. I will tell you one thing. This is straight out of the book of what happened in 2611. We all know how it happened. So this camouflaging, these
right, Mr. Mani, can I just stop you there for a second, sir? So we can't really see you. There's a silhouette around you and there's not too much light on your face. We really can't see you much. Would request you to fix that, sir, and put a light in front of your face. We'll come back to you momentarily. Let me also rope in Major General A.K. Sivach into this conversation as well. General Sivach, the ISIS and their footprint has been a constant worry and a sore thumb for the NIA as well. This terror attack, like I said in my opening monologue as well, was carefully executed. It had its trail tied to a number of incidents which have taken place in the past as well. How are we supposed to look at our intelligence gathering scenario when it comes to these people?
Yeah, Vinit, no doubt. See, one thing one has to be very clear that of late, the southern part of country is becoming a hub center of Islamic State sort of terrorism. There are a number of modules which are there, especially this AI Hind module, which is inspired by the Islamic State. Now, their modus operandi is very strange. The point is there are two modus operandi which is prevailing. One is those people who are well educated, technically qualified, they get inspired through the social media and then they become one of the agents of the Islamic State. And then they start obeying the orders which are being coming from different places from the unknown faces. There's another module which is now started is as a conspirators that they go on the ground and try to recruit more of these AI module in the country itself. And this has been increasing last about 10 to 12 years. Though the NIA has been very successful, they are busting number of modules. But the coordination between the NIA and the state is not there. Especially the southern states, be it Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra, they have to be very, very careful because they are enlarging. And the logistics support which is being provided in terms of basically overground worker and sleeper cell is increasing. You know, it is strange that they were involved in a case in 2020, and there are 4 cases which has taken place after that, but they have not able to nab. It is only Muzammil Shareef, who is the person who has provided a logistic support and also given an ID material, has been only been apprehended. But the main accused, who is basically Musawir Hussain, who is the bomber, he not been caught. So is the Abdul Mateen Taahaa, who is a conspirator, who has also helped the main accused. So the point is here is that there is some lack of coordination between the NIA as well as the state police. And the state police are not taking it as seriously as they're supposed to take it due to certain political reasons. And that is the where we have to now pinpoint it. How come for last 4 years we have not able to nab these 2 individuals that they are involved in 4 cases? They were also involved in a case which they were trying to recruit the AIA Hind conspirators, and they wanted to have a basically Islamic state of sort of kingdom in the forest of southern part of the country. So this is a problem, and this is a challenge to India. We have to take it very seriously. And to me, the biggest problem which seemingly looks to be that the state agencies have to also wake it up. They pass the buck to NIA when the case is very late. It has not been handled well. So there is a requirement of coordination between the states in the southern part of the country, and there has to be more coordination between NIA and the state agencies. And state agencies should work rising above the political compulsion. That is a requirement of the day, because remember that, you know, though the footprints are not coming, but I have my strong doubt the ISI is also working with the IS module. Indirectly or indirectly, they want that places like Bengaluru, which is a millennium city of the southern part of the country, also IT hub center. 40% of IT equipment is exported from here. It's such sort of blast and a very wrong message. Imagine what impact it has for those potential investors which want to come and invest in India. So though the ID was of a very small blast and very less explosive, but it has sent a lot of messages, and therefore there is a requirement to be much more vigilant, alert, and try to nab these 2 conspirators at the earliest, and also more coordination between all the agencies. This is not a good example that 4 years have passed by, we are not able to nab the main conspirators who are not involved in this, but they were also involved in series of such blasts which have taken place in the past in last 4 years. Vinny.
Very good point, sir. Mr. Rao, Mr. General Sivacha has in fact hit the nail on the head that South India and certain parts and clusters of South India are becoming very heavily involved in radicalization and this philosophy of extremism, which seems to be escaping the scope as well as the radar of the investigating agencies. And that's why some of these criminals, some of these terrorists are slipping through the cracks, as has been the case with these people. What do you make of this situation? And, how can agencies, the police, the other investigation agencies work in tandem to make sure that this, in fact, is driven into the ocean out of South India and does not find a place in our metropolitan cities, especially places like Bengaluru?
Yes, Vineet, this is unfortunate, and that the intelligence gathering in the state of Karnataka is not so up to the mark. And I fully agree with General Shivaji and Shri RVS Bani that the local police of the state is directly under the state government. And in every state, not only in Karnataka, every state, if you talk about any state of India, Union Territory, policing is devised in such a manner that there is a very important wing of that police is that intelligence. And I think that intelligence, either they are not working with the tandem with this NIA or some other anti-terrorist agencies, or they are knowingly allowing these, flourishing these terrorist activities there in that. It's very strange that after 4 years, these persons have surfaced. And moreover, this main accused has yet to be arrested. Only the conspirators and the overground workers who assisted this, the so-called bomb blast, that they have been nabbed by NIA, and that too the NIA has nabbed them. Why the local police were not alert, so alert that they could have given information? You know that NIA, National Investigating Agency, is a national level investigating agency, and they have their all intelligence network as well. But they have to look after so many other states also. They have to look after the anti-terrorist activities going on in J&K, Northeast region, and so many other places. Why that? And why it is not so that there is no terrorist activities in the state which are there alert? You can see the example of Delhi. There is no terrorist attack during the last 10 years in Delhi because the Delhi police is alert, their intelligence wing is alert, that special cell of Delhi police is alert. That's the reason that we could prevent these blast cases, because terrorists always wanted to act in the national capital, that is Delhi, because they have they get more mileage if they are able to do any terrorist activities inside our capital. But they could not do it because they know that as soon as we do it, we will definitely be nabbed. And all the other, even ISI also in Pakistan, based in Pakistan, they also know that Delhi is not possible to be done. They find the weakest states where the state agencies are not so much alert, or their state bosses, the political bosses, are not willing to do anti-terrorist operations, and they are not willing to implement the anti-terrorist prevention measures. You can say preventive measures to stop the these terrorist activities. That's why this Karnataka is flourishing, and I fully agree with General Siraj that because this Karnataka, and more particularly Bengaluru, is our hub of this Millennium City, and then almost all these IT main IT companies are there. And if such activities of terrorist activities not stopped, or the terrorists are not arrested as soon as possible, and all cases of which took place in the past, they are not worked out, that the people will think that foreign agencies, foreign investors will think twice to invest in that region. So it's by state government not doing their duties, or the local police of the intelligence agency not doing their duties properly, that will also hamper the state government's exchequer and the investment, and the overall impact on the general public of Karnataka will be affected because of these terrorist activities are flourishing there. So we should be serious about it, and all state governments, agencies which are assigned this job to stop terrorist activities, they should be alert. In Karnataka particularly, and because on all other surrounding states in South India, they are not so much prone to these terrorist activities. Why only Karnataka? This speaks of the weakness of the intelligence of that police, local police there, and that state government must think about it, that because it's not in the overall interest of the general public in that region.
Mr. Mani, sir, why is this only limited to Karnataka and southern states? And it's a volatile situation at this point in time, but it is one that can be controlled. It is something that can be managed at this point in time. How much time would you give this situation to, in fact, unfold in such a way that it will be really, really difficult to tackle?
We are already on the brink of. Now, I would like, not because Mr. L. N. Rao is a panel, Delhi's police special cell has a much better record than many of the STFs or the Q branches or the G branches or the ATS or whatever it of other, on prevention only. Of course, there were attempts in 2007, 8 and all that to vitiate the Delhi police, to weaken the special cell of Delhi police, but Delhi police special cell, the basic reason I believe is they have a much better coordination with the central agencies, and that is one of the reasons for. Of course, there are many leadership and all. Mr. P. N. Agarwal, S. M. Srivastava, so many other people have led the special cell. They have done wonderful job. Notwithstanding that, better coordination with the state central agencies is a very, very key factor. Here, due to whatever, whether political interventions or agendas or whatever it is, they refuse to coordinate better or cooperate with the central agencies, whether it is the IB or a RNDW or even a financial intelligence unit or whatever it is. There is a lack of coordination. Let's not be under any denial. It is all depends on the political climate between the center and the state, and that is the reason. In spite of political climate, also in 2009 and all, lot of things happened, which could have been because it's the right earners that now the present Prime Minister has taken it as in the right earners. There has been robust investment. There have been robust intent in his tackling terror, and that is the reason. But having said that, coordination is the key. We cannot allow this to happen and just linger on. See, there was CCTNS, which was proudly, which has now been escalated to IOJS or whatever it is. At least from there itself, the computer network itself, they should have traced the criminal. Not only that, the beat constable system should be working. If it works properly, there are a lot of ways and means in which such terrorists, repeat offenders can be tracked. We did have Saqib Nissan coming out, a twice convicted terrorist, again running a nursery in Thane. There are all one-off cases. He had come out of remission and thereafter started in the terror nursery, and that was also stopped by the Indian Intelligence Agency. So, but what is happening in Karnataka, that so many things are happening, and we have our central agencies also working there. But state government has to really pull up its stocks. Government of Karnataka is, I would say, they should not come out of this denial thing. They should also say, like the Coimbatore blast, also the Tamil Nadu government said it's a cylinder blast, but later on it was found to be Mangalore blast, whatever it is, they came out with some alibi or other. That denial should stop. That is the moot point. See, terrorism attacks everybody. It is a challenge to national security. It is not a political game to be played, ball being thrown here and there. So let us be very consistent on that, irrespective of the political ideology. If terrorism should be acknowledged, and there should be no denial and strictest action. And if required, let us close this chapter. Intelligence part, post-investigation, post-blast investigation should necessarily be handed over to the enabling provision should be there in the NIA Act.
Okay. Let's take concluding thoughts from Mr. Rao and General Sivach as well. A minute to each one of you, and then we wrap up. General Sivach, starting with you, sir.
First and foremost point what we have to remember is, as far as the southern part of the country is concerned, there are two ways this terrorism is increasing. Since the education level of these states is much higher, one is that the virtual, basically the radicalization taking place because there are educated people, they are technically qualified, they are engineers, they are also from a good family. That is one of the reasons which we have to be very, very worried as to how do we basically handle that issue. And the second thing is the lower strata, which is there. They are the one which is also able to recruit further. This Islamic State sponsored module, which has become very, very prevalent in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, is a cause of concern. Now, the point which is coming very loud and clear is that as far as the state police is concerned, they first should be above board, irrespective which is the party which is governing that. That should not be interfered. Their intelligence has to be very good. There has to be more coordination between state to state, and also between NIA and state. Now, these modules function very cleverly between the two state borders. That is also a point which has to be seen. So, there should be no one-upship. There should be no denial. More coordination between states as well as the central government. That is the requirement of the day, because the way this Islamic State modules are increasing and they are increasing their bases in the southern part of the country, it is a cause of concern, and the ISI will jump in. They will make use of this. And remember that the places like Bangalore and all, in case any incident do take place in this, send an extremely wrong message. And since it's a Millennium City IT hub center, it has an adverse effect on the potential investors which are going to come. I suppose the NIA.
Okay, all right, so we've run out of time. Apologies, we can't accommodate anybody else now. We've run out of time, but you've made some stellar points.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.